There is a specific kind of silence that happens on a rainy street in Georgetown right after something terrible has happened.
Hmm.
It's not actually quiet, you know? You have the rain hitting the pavement, maybe the hum of traffic a few blocks away.
A siren starting up somewhere in the distance.
Exactly. But the normal sound of the evening, the sound of a date night, of a couple going to dinner, that just gets erased.
It snaps. The whole reality of the situation just, it fractures.
And that fracture is where we're starting our deep dive today. We are opening a file that begins with that shattered silence and ends. Well, honestly, it's not clear where it ends. We are looking at the disappearance of Roger Heller.
And we have a pretty substantial pile of source material to work from here. We've got police reports, witness statements, internal corporate documents, and crucially, a very detailed narrative of the investigation itself.
I think it's important to frame this right at the top. This isn't just a missing person case.
Oh, not at all. If you look at the data, the trajectory is just wild.
Yeah,
It starts out looking like a domestic tragedy.
right.
Then for a few hours, it seems like a violent mugging gone wrong. And then it spirals and fast. You're suddenly dealing with international corporate espionage, Department of Defense watch lists, and huge amounts of missing cash.
It really forces you to ask that question. How well do you actually know the people in your life? The person sitting across the table from you?
Mm-hmm.
So the mission for this deep dive is clear. First, we need to reconstruct the timeline of Roger Heller's disappearance. Second, we have to unpack the clues that were left behind because some of them are incredibly specific and, frankly, terrifying.
And third, we need to analyze the tradecraft, not just of the people who took him, but also the tradecraft of the man who's hunting for them.
Because that's the lens we're seeing all this through. It's not a police procedural. The investigation is being run by Nick Heller, the victim's brother.
And Nick Heller's not a cop. He operates in a totally different ecosystem. He has a different set of rules, or maybe no rules at all.
Let's lay out the players before we jump into the timeline, because the family dynamic is absolutely central to this entire mystery. The victim, the man who vanishes, is Roger Heller.
Roger is, on paper at least, the American dream personified. He's a senior finance executive at a massive company, Gifford Industries. He's rich, lives in a gorgeous renovated townhouse in Georgetown, drives a luxury car.
He sounds perfect.
He's incredibly fastidious. The sources describe him as the kind of guy who organizes his sock drawer by color. His hobby is bird watching. A birder. He's the guy who follows every rule, dots every I, crosses every T.
The archetypal good brother.
Exactly. Which, of course, means there has to be a bad brother, and that's Nick Heller.
The investigator.
He's the